Fast food didn't just sell burgers, it sold fairy tales with fries. Before we start exposing the food industry's greatest magic tricks, subscribe and join our Telegram channel, link in the video description. That's where we drop extra weird facts, bonus stories, and things too ridiculous to leave on YouTube. Now grab your fries, check your drink for suspicious amounts of ice, and let's see how many fast food myths have been living rent-free in your brain. 1. Fresh off the grill. That doesn't always mean what you think. Fast food has a talent that would make stage magicians jealous. Somewhere along the way, people started believing that fresh off the grill means a guy in the back lovingly flipping burgers like he's at a neighborhood cookout in 1987 while classic rock plays in the background. You picture smoke rising dramatically, someone wearing an apron, maybe even a little sweat on the forehead. Real movie stuff. But fast food fresh often works like hotel towels. Technically, they're fresh because nobody used them recently, not because they were born 5 seconds ago. Food preparation in huge chains is all about timing, warming stations, holding areas, and systems designed with the precision of NASA launching a rocket. Except instead of sending astronauts into space, they're launching chicken sandwiches toward your car window. The word fresh is one of humanity's favorite little loopholes. It's like saying, "I just cleaned my garage," when you actually shoved everything into one corner and turned off the lights. Not exactly a lie, not exactly the whole truth either. Fast food discovered long ago that sometimes the most powerful ingredient isn't beef or cheese, it's vocabulary. 2. The secret menu myth became the fast food version of treasure hunting. People absolutely love feeling like they know something other people don't. It's human nature. Give someone a secret handshake, and suddenly they walk around like they joined a spy organization. Fast food figured this out and accidentally created one of the greatest myths ever, the legendary secret menu. Some people walk into restaurants acting like they're delivering classified government information. "Yeah, I'd like the double ultra mega hidden burger." The employee on the other side stares back with the expression of a person whose shift started 12 minutes ago and already regrets existing. Here's the funny part. Many so-called secret menu items aren't actually secret at all. Often, they're just combinations of regular ingredients people discovered and shared online. Then, the internet grabbed those ideas and treated them like ancient forbidden knowledge passed down through generations. Suddenly, ordering lunch started sounding like opening a hidden level in a video game. People love believing they're part of an exclusive club. We spent decades joining country clubs, buying membership cards, and collecting loyalty points. Fast food simply gave us the adult version of finding cheat codes, because apparently paying extra for extra pickles feels more exciting if it sounds illegal. 3. Healthy fast food can sometimes be a very creative math problem. The word healthy in fast food can become an Olympic-level performance. It's almost beautiful to watch. A giant burger with 3 patties and enough sauce to waterproof a submarine suddenly becomes suspiciously healthier because somebody added a leaf of lettuce. It's marketing magic. You see a salad on a menu, and your brain immediately starts celebrating. "Look at me making responsible decisions." Meanwhile, the salad arrives carrying fried chicken, cheese, bacon bits, crispy toppings, and dressing with enough calories to fuel a family road trip across America. Suddenly, your light meal is working overtime. It's like putting running shoes on a bear and calling it an athlete. Fast food companies understand something about human psychology that deserves serious respect. People don't necessarily want healthy food. People want to feel healthy while eating food that tastes like happiness and poor decisions. The same thing happened in the 80s and 90s with low-fat snacks. People saw those magical words and started eating twice as much, because apparently removing one problem meant every other problem packed up and moved away. Turns out our brains love shortcuts, and fast food menus know exactly where the shortcuts live. 4. Bigger drinks don't always mean better deals. Fast food taught us one of humanity's favorite life lessons. Bigger must automatically mean better. We see a giant drink, and our brain immediately starts acting like we discovered hidden treasure. Small drink for $3, large for only 50 cents more? Suddenly, we're financial geniuses. Oh yeah, look who's beating the system today. Except the system has been undefeated for decades. Fast food places understand something terrifying about human behavior. Humans absolutely panic when they think they're missing value. Nobody wants to feel like they lost some imaginary competition against a soda cup. So we upgrade every single time, and then reality arrives. You finish half the drink and spend the next hour carrying around a container large enough to hydrate a horse. Your cup holder is fighting for its life. Ice melts into an Arctic lake. You're making emergency bathroom stops every 15 minutes like a retiree on a road trip through Route 66. The craziest part? That extra amount often costs companies almost nothing. You thought you outsmarted the menu. Meanwhile, the menu has been doing psychological judo since the Reagan administration. 5. Grilled automatically. Sounds healthier than fried fast food. Menus know exactly which words make humans relax. Grilled is one of them. The second people hear it, their brains put on running shoes and start celebrating healthy life choices. Grilled chicken sandwich? Fantastic. Responsible. Adult behavior. Meanwhile, nobody stops to investigate what else quietly joined the party. Because suddenly that grilled sandwich is hanging out with mayonnaise, cheese, buttery bread, bacon, and sauces with ingredient lists that read like chemistry homework. Now don't get me wrong, grilled food itself isn't some evil mastermind sitting in a dark room plotting against us. But people hear that magical word and immediately lower all defenses. It's like hearing someone say, "He's a really nice guy," right before learning he owns 12 snakes and once tried to microwave a fork. The label creates comfort. Back in the 90s, food companies discovered people adored labels. Fat-free, light, low-carb, healthy choice. Humans treated these words like permission slips from the universe. Because if one thing sounds healthy, apparently the rest of the meal gets diplomatic immunity. That's how you end up eating enough calories for 2 people while feeling weirdly proud of yourself. 6. The ice cream machine isn't always secretly broken. Few modern mysteries inspire more emotional pain than hearing these words. Sorry, the ice cream machine isn't working. At this point, people react like they're hearing tragic family news. What do you mean it's down again? The machine became a legend. Entire internet jokes were built around it. People started believing workers were hiding some giant conspiracy. Maybe employees didn't want to clean it. Maybe managers banned happiness. Maybe the machine itself hated humanity. The machine became fast food Bigfoot. But here's the thing, those machines can actually be ridiculously complicated. Cleaning cycles, maintenance procedures, heating phases, cooling phases. It sounds less like dessert equipment and more like instructions for launching nuclear submarines. Imagine owning a washing machine that suddenly announced, "Please wait 4 hours while I reconsider my existence." People assume making ice cream should be simple. Milk goes in, ice cream comes out. That's how cartoons taught us reality. Instead, some machines behave like moody celebrities, demanding specific temperatures, perfect timing, and constant attention. So while everyone imagines workers standing around laughing and refusing to serve milkshakes, somewhere in the back, there's probably an employee staring at blinking buttons like they're trying to defuse a bomb. 7. Chicken nuggets aren't made from mystery creatures. The internet absolutely loves creating food horror stories. Somewhere online, people started sharing theories that chicken nuggets were made from mysterious leftovers, strange laboratory experiments, or parts of animals nobody could identify. Suddenly, nuggets became urban legends. People talked about them like government secrets. Do you know what's really inside those things? Then everyone leans in dramatically like they're discussing alien life. Here's the funny part. Humans have always been suspicious of food that doesn't look exactly like the animal it came from. We accept chicken legs because they look like chicken. Makes sense. But turn it into a nugget and suddenly people act like scientists need hazmat suits. Think about hot dogs for a second. Entire generations happily ate mystery tubes at baseball games while cheering and spilling mustard on themselves. Nobody demanded a federal investigation. Nuggets simply committed the crime of being too convenient. They're small, uniform, and suspiciously perfect. Nature usually doesn't produce perfect little shapes. Nature creates weird-looking potatoes and bananas that curve like question marks. Nuggets look like they hired a public relations team. And apparently anything that organized immediately makes humans nervous. 8. Fast food photos. Created completely unreal expectations. Fast food commercials deserve awards for imagination. You've seen them. That burger slowly rotates under perfect lighting like it's auditioning for a Hollywood movie. Cheese melts beautifully. Lettuce sparkles for some reason. Tomatoes sit perfectly stacked like tiny red architecture projects. The The burger looks majestic. You arrive at the restaurant expecting love at first sight. Then reality hands you a paper bag. You open it, and suddenly your burger looks like it survived a minor car accident on the way to your table. Cheese escaped to one side. Pickles are hiding under the bun. Everything shifted during travel, like passengers during turbulence. And immediately, people feel betrayed. But honestly, we probably should have seen this coming. Commercial food photography operates in its own universe. These people use tweezers. They rearrange sesame seeds individually. Entire teams spend hours making one burger look beautiful. Meanwhile, in the actual restaurant, somebody is assembling your meal during a lunch rush while 5 timers are beeping and a drive-thru line wraps around the building. One side is creating art, the other side is trying to survive. 9. Drive-thru isn't always faster than walking inside. Humans see a drive-thru line and immediately think one thing. Look at this beautiful invention. I never even have to leave my car. And honestly, back in the day that was revolutionary. America practically built an entire culture around staying seated. Drive-thru banks, drive-thru pharmacies, drive-thru weddings. At some point, we were probably one step away from drive-thru living rooms. But people still believe the drive-thru is automatically the fastest option every single time. Then reality shows up. You've seen it happen. 7 cars ahead of you. One guy ordering enough food to feed what sounds like an entire youth football league. Another person changing their order every 30 seconds. No onions? Actually, extra onions? Wait, do you still have those things you had in 2011? Now you're trapped. You can't leave. There's concrete on one side, bushes on the other, and you're committed like you signed a contract. Meanwhile, someone casually walks inside, orders in 30 seconds, grabs their food, and leaves while you're still staring at brake lights. The drive-thru promised freedom. Instead, sometimes it becomes a parking lot with snacks. 10. Breakfast menus. Made people believe eggs follow time schedules. Fast food somehow convinced millions of people that breakfast foods operate under strict natural laws. Pancakes at 9:58? Perfectly normal. Pancakes at 10:31? Society collapses. People become emotionally devastated. What do you mean, breakfast ended? Ended. Eggs didn't disappear from Earth. Chickens didn't clock out and go home carrying tiny lunchboxes. Yet people accepted this reality for decades without question. Imagine applying this logic anywhere else. Sorry, sir. We're no longer serving chairs after 4 p.m. Or, unfortunately, water hours ended 15 minutes ago. Breakfast became this magical kingdom with opening and closing ceremonies, and Americans took it seriously. Entire road trips in the 80s and 90s revolved around making it somewhere before breakfast cutoffs. Parents would practically turn into race car drivers. Kids, hurry up! We're missing hash browns! Fast food companies eventually realized people were willing to fight over breakfast items with the determination of medieval armies defending castles. Turns out, people don't simply enjoy breakfast. People form emotional relationships with breakfast. 11. Crispy doesn't automatically mean. Fresh fast food discovered one of the most powerful tricks in human history. Make something crunchy. Seriously, humans completely lose their minds over texture. Hear one crisp sound, and suddenly our brains start celebrating. Oh wow, that's fresh! But crispy and fresh aren't identical twins. They're distant cousins who only see each other at holidays. Because crispiness mostly tells you one thing. Something got hot. That's it. People hear a crunch and instantly imagine food arriving directly from heaven with angels singing softly in the background. Meanwhile, your fries could have spent some quality time under heat lamps before meeting you. Humans are weirdly obsessed with sound effects. Think about commercials from the 80s and 90s. Every chip commercial sounded like somebody snapped tree branches next to a microphone. Crunch, crack, boom. Apparently, louder food automatically meant better food. If furniture commercials worked the same way, we'd buy couches based entirely on dramatic sitting noises. Fast food figured out that your ears are sometimes easier to convince than your brain. And honestly, that's both impressive and a little terrifying. 12. Limited time items feel like rare treasure. Nothing changes human behavior faster than hearing. Limited time only. Suddenly, rational adults transform into treasure hunters. People who ignored a sandwich for 3 straight years suddenly panic. Oh no, it's leaving. Now they need it immediately. Fast food understands this perfectly because humans fear missing things more than they enjoy getting things. Remember collectible glasses from gas stations, movie toys in kids' meals, holiday popcorn tins? America spent decades happily collecting things nobody planned on buying in the first place. Limited-time menus work exactly the same way. Yesterday, you weren't thinking about spicy chicken tacos. Today, somebody said they disappear next month, and suddenly it's personal. You convince yourself it's destiny. Meanwhile, the sandwich itself is sitting there confused. I've literally been here before. The funniest part is when items return years later. People react like long-lost relatives returned from sea voyages. "Carl, you're alive!" No, Carl wasn't gone forever. Carl just took a vacation. 13. Bigger burgers don't always mean better. Burgers Fast Food spent years teaching us one very American lesson. More equals better. 2 patties? Nice. 3 patties? Incredible. 4 patties? Call the newspapers. At some point, burgers stopped looking like food and started looking like engineering projects. People see giant burgers in commercials and immediately imagine victory. But then reality places an edible skyscraper in your hands. Now you're trying to figure out basic physics. How do humans even eat this thing? Pickles are escaping. Tomatoes are sliding away like passengers.
He left the organization.
Sauce is running down your arm.
Actually, he left. He left the organization.
And honestly, giant burgers create a strange illusion. Humans love excess. Bigger TVs, bigger trucks, bigger houses. Fast food simply applied the same formula to lunch. But bigger doesn't automatically improve anything. Nobody wants a 10-foot toothbrush. Nobody wants bowling balls for shoes. And sometimes nobody actually wants a burger requiring jaw flexibility normally seen in snakes. 14. Fast food coffee stopped being just coffee. Years ago, there was a time when ordering coffee was simple. Coffee, cream, sugar, done. Then somewhere along the road, things changed dramatically. Now, people order drinks with names sounding like magical potions from fantasy movies. Can I get a double caramel vanilla iced mocha with extra foam and half-whipped cinnamon cloud? At this point, the cashier isn't taking orders anymore. They're decoding ancient texts. People still believe fast food coffee means basic coffee in a paper cup, but coffee quietly evolved into dessert wearing a disguise. You tell yourself, "I'm just grabbing coffee." Then someone hands you a drink carrying whipped cream, syrup, chocolate drizzle, and enough sweetness to convince your taste buds they're at a birthday party. The transformation happened slowly so nobody noticed, like smartphones replacing everything. One day, coffee was coffee. The next day, coffee had become a lifestyle choice with toppings. 15. Combo meals. Trick your brain into feeling smarter. Combo meals are one of the greatest psychological inventions ever created. You walk in planning to buy one burger. Simple mission. Then the menu quietly whispers, "For only $2 more." That's all it takes. Suddenly, your brain starts doing calculations like you're on Wall Street. Wait a minute. Fries plus drink separately costs this much. Combo costs this much. I'm saving money. Saving money. Look at me being financially responsible. Meanwhile, you just spent more money than you originally planned. It's incredible. Humans absolutely hate feeling like they missed a deal. We would buy 12 garden chairs we never needed if somebody added a giant red sign saying limited savings. Fast food discovered that people enjoy winning imaginary competitions. You leave feeling victorious. You outsmarted the system, you beat the menu. Meanwhile, somewhere the menu quietly smiles to itself like an old casino owner who has seen this exact story play out for 50 years. 16. Made just for you. Sounds more personal than it really is. Fast food discovered that humans absolutely love feeling special. Say the words "made just for you," and suddenly, people imagine a chef in the back treating their burger like a masterpiece for an art museum. You picture someone carefully arranging toppings while soft music plays in the background. Reality is slightly different. Fast food kitchens often operate like airport control towers mixed with NASCAR pit crews. Orders appear on screens. Timers start screaming. Workers move with terrifying speed while trying to keep everything from turning into complete chaos. Nobody has time to stare thoughtfully into the distance and whisper, "This burger represents my artistic journey." But those words still work on us, because humans love customization. We put our names on coffee cups, phone cases, license plates, and anything else that sits still long enough. So when somebody says your meal was made specifically for you, your brain quietly thinks, "Ah, yeah, I am important." Meanwhile, 5 identical burgers are being assembled at the speed of light 10 feet away. The food may be yours. The system definitely isn't. 17. Diet drinks somehow became permission. Slips humans have a fascinating little habit. We remove one thing and immediately act like every other rule in the universe disappeared. Order a diet soda, and suddenly something strange happens inside the brain. Well, I made a healthy decision today. Then, 10 seconds later, let's add extra fries. It's incredible to watch. People treat diet drinks like tiny nutritional lawyers defending future decisions. Back in the 80s and 90s, diet products exploded everywhere. Diet cookies, diet snacks, diet desserts. Entire grocery stores looked like everyone collectively decided calories were tiny criminals hiding in food packages. And people felt safe. Because if one thing carried a healthier label, everything around it suddenly felt less dangerous. Fast food quietly benefited from this little brain trick, too. You could order a giant burger, mountains of fries, and enough sauce to lubricate machinery. But add a diet drink, and suddenly your mind starts acting like you balanced some kind of cosmic equation. Humans love shortcuts. We always have. And apparently our brains occasionally solve math using pure optimism. 18. Fast food toys were never really about kids. Let's be honest here. People love pretending kids' meals exist entirely for children. Nice thought. Completely adorable. Absolutely not true. Because parents have spent decades becoming suspiciously interested in tiny plastic toys. You've seen it happen. A movie releases, restaurants announce collectible toys. Suddenly, adults start appearing with unexpected enthusiasm. Oh wow, the kids might enjoy these. Sir, your youngest child graduated college in 2004. We all know what's happening. Fast food figured out something beautiful a long time ago. Adults never really stop being kids. We simply replace playgrounds with mortgages and back pain. Those little toys brought back Saturday morning cartoons, cereal commercials, and that magical feeling of finding something exciting in a paper bag. The food became secondary. People weren't buying chicken nuggets anymore. They were buying tiny doses of nostalgia. Because nothing turns grown adults into treasure hunters faster than hearing. Collect all 6. Civilization immediately collapses after those words. 19. Fast food isn't always cheaper than cooking. For years, people repeated one sentence like it was written into law. Fast food is cheaper. Makes sense at first. A burger here, fries there, simple little purchases, no problem. But humans have an incredible talent for quietly upgrading things without noticing. You start with a basic meal. Then maybe larger fries sound nice. Extra sauce couldn't hurt. Dessert suddenly feels reasonable. Then somebody asks if you'd like to make it a combo. And now, somehow lunch costs enough to make your wallet stare back at you in disappointment. Cooking at home always sounds exhausting because we imagine complicated TV chef situations. People picture dramatic knife skills and ingredients with names nobody can pronounce. Reality is often much simpler, but fast food wins because convenience feels invisible. Humans will pay shocking amounts of money to avoid effort. We've been doing it forever, because after a long day, driving somewhere and receiving food through a window feels less like spending money and more like purchasing temporary happiness. And temporary happiness sells extremely well. On 20. Crispy chicken wars made people pick sides like sports teams. Fast food restaurants discovered something absolutely genius. People don't just enjoy food, people enjoy competition. Suddenly, chicken sandwiches weren't sandwiches anymore. They became events. Entire internet arguments appeared overnight. People started defending restaurants with the loyalty usually reserved for football teams. I've eaten there for 20 years. Sir, we're discussing fried chicken. Calm down. The weird thing is, humans love choosing sides even when absolutely nobody asked us to. Classic Coke or Pepsi, Ford or Chevy, cats or dogs. Now add chicken sandwiches to the list. People waited in giant lines, argued online, and acted like they were participating in important historical moments. Future generations will read about major world events. Meanwhile, our generation also spent months passionately debating breaded poultry. Fast food companies probably watched this happen with giant smiles, because nothing sells products better than convincing customers they joined a movement. 21. Free refills turn humans into beverage investors. There is something almost magical about hearing the words free refills. Human logic immediately changes. Suddenly, people start calculating value like investment bankers on Wall Street. I paid for one drink, but technically I can drink 6. 6. Nobody walked into the restaurant thirsty enough to hydrate an elephant. But now it's about principle. People begin treating soda fountains like personal challenges. One drink turns into 2. 2 becomes 3. Now you're mixing flavors together like a scientist whose laboratory lost all adult supervision. Back in the day, people created combinations that looked radioactive. Tiny amounts of everything. Cola, lemon lime, fruit punch, orange soda. The cup looked like somebody melted a rainbow, and nobody even questioned it. Because free things create strange behavior in humans. We take extra napkins we never use. We grab hotel shampoo bottles like survival supplies. We download apps we open once. And apparently, if refills are free, our brains quietly risk to maximize the investment. Fast food, family meals. Somehow, feed everyone except teenagers. Fast food loves using the phrase family meal. Sounds warm, comforting, almost like a sitcom from the 90s where everybody gathers around a table smiling for no reason. You imagine enough food for a happy little gathering. Then reality pulls into the driveway. Everything starts normally. Burgers come out. Fries get passed around. Drinks are distributed peacefully. Then a teenager enters the room. Suddenly, the entire system collapses. 3 burgers disappear in under 4 minutes. Half the fries vanish like they were stolen during a magic act. Someone loudly announces, "Is there more food?" More food? You just unpacked enough bags to qualify as cargo delivery. Fast food companies seem to estimate family portions based on households where everyone eats like sleepy squirrels. But real families operate differently. Especially during the teenage years, when young humans apparently transform into biological furnaces capable of converting unlimited food into absolutely nothing visible. Parents have known this truth for decades. No family meal survives contact with teenagers. 23. Fast food salads made us believe lettuce can fix anything. For years, salads quietly became the forgiveness department of fast food. You order giant burgers, fries, desserts, and drinks large enough to wash a car. Then suddenly, "I'll also get a salad." Perfect. Everything is balanced now. Human brains absolutely adore this logic. Because lettuce feels responsible. Lettuce feels mature. Lettuce pays taxes and keeps receipts organized. Meanwhile, some fast food salads arrive carrying enough extras to qualify as undercover burgers. Chicken, cheese, croutons, creamy dressing, bacon. Suddenly, your bowl looks less like a garden and more like somebody dropped lunch into a pile of leaves. Back in the 80s and 90s, salads carried almost mythical powers. People treated them like little edible reset buttons. "Oh, I had a salad today." Fantastic. Meanwhile, that salad arrived with enough toppings to require structural support beams. Humans love believing one healthy-looking thing cancels everything around it. Apparently, we've all been doing nutritional algebra using feelings instead of numbers. 24. The smell of fast food is doing half the work. Let's talk about something terrifying. Smells have unbelievable power. You can hear an old song and remember high school. You can smell sunscreen and suddenly remember summer vacations. And fast food learned this trick a long time ago. Because sometimes the smell arrives before the building does. You're driving peacefully, minding your own business, not hungry at all. Then suddenly something floats through the air. Now your brain starts behaving strangely. Burgers sound pretty good. Fries too. Maybe chicken. Maybe everything. You weren't even thinking about food 30 seconds ago. But smell bypasses logic completely. Logic takes roads and traffic lights. Smell apparently owns a helicopter. Humans spent decades pretending they made food decisions carefully. No, most of us have been getting emotionally kidnapped by smells since childhood. That smell isn't just advertising. It's basically a polite little brain invasion wearing the disguise of lunch. 25. Fast food restaurants somehow became road trip traditions. Road trips and fast food became best friends a very long time ago. especially back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Families would pile into giant station wagons that handled like moving apartment buildings. Kids fought in the back seat. Parents unfolded giant paper maps that looked like pirate treasure charts. Then, eventually, someone said, "Let's stop for food." And suddenly, everybody became excited. Not because the food was life-changing, because stopping itself became part of the adventure. You stretched your legs, walked inside, looked at giant menu boards, maybe grabbed one of those weird little toy prizes. Fast food became less about eating and more about creating memories. Even now, people still do it. Certain restaurants almost become landmarks. Oh yeah, we always stop here. Humans are strange creatures. We'll drive across 3 states and ignore beautiful mountains, rivers, and landscapes. But we'll absolutely remember the place where Dad spilled cola all over the car in 1989. 26. People believe secret ingredients must be something incredible. Fast food restaurants love talking about secret ingredients. The second humans hear the word secret, our brains immediately lose control. Secret sauce, secret recipe, secret seasoning. Now everybody becomes detectives. People start imagining ancient recipes hidden in vaults guarded by security systems and laser beams. Reality is usually much less dramatic, because humans naturally assume mystery equals greatness. If somebody says, "Our recipe contains 17 secret herbs and spices," your imagination starts working overtime. Maybe rare ingredients from hidden mountains. Maybe recipes passed down for generations. Maybe culinary magic itself. Then you eventually learn the secret ingredient might be something painfully ordinary. Salt, pepper, garlic powder. The same things sitting in kitchens everywhere. Humans don't really buy secrets because they need information. Humans buy secrets because discovering hidden things feels exciting. Apparently, mystery itself tastes delicious. 27. Fast food happiness was never really about the food. Here's probably the biggest fast food lie people still believe. That happiness came from the food itself. But think about it. Was it really the burger? Or was it Friday nights after school? Road trips with your family? Saturday afternoons at the mall? Getting toys as a kid? Eating with friends after football games? Fast food accidentally attached itself to memories. That's why certain smells, wrappers, and places hit people like tiny time machines. You walk into a restaurant and suddenly you're 14 again. No bills, no stress, no responsibilities, just excitement over fries and maybe enough money for dessert. The food became part of the memory instead of creating the memory. And honestly, that's probably why people keep coming back. Because sometimes we aren't buying burgers, we're buying little pieces of simpler times. Turns out the most powerful thing fast food ever sold wasn't chicken, fries, or milkshakes. It was nostalgia. Still trust fast food? Tell us which lie fooled you the longest.